Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Do you know why I'm laughing? Because sometimes like some channels I tune into and they're like, hi, welcome to my channel. My name is this, and I just like, okay, today we are doing today actually I've just realized I sound like a teacher in a classroom. Anyway, so welcome to the channel. I wanted to say welcome to the channel when I've got a lot more subscribers. It's a bit early on to say that, but anyway, this is Zain, and if you wanted any of my service, whether it's like a psychic reading for guidance, which is similar to tarot reading, where you send your questions, I do it remote. I tap in energetically, or psychically, basically, or you want any energy clearing, energy cleaning, cleansing, any of that side of stuff, everything's in the description box below. And I also do have other services that I have, or I do. Okay. And I used to have a website. I paid someone and then they took all my data. The old platform that I was enhancing expired. They only had my data. The platform that, the freelance platform that I hired them from, long story short, I was left with nothing, and it just winds me up to then try and find everything again, because I had two tabs. I had one for transformation and coaching, and I had the psychic and the energy healing and the readings and the services around that. I also do group healings, which I used to advertise quite a lot on YouTube every couple of months or a month. It's a lot cheaper than an individual healing session. It's always good to have them every now and then, to have a clear out, see what comes through as dense energy, like Meghan Markle's mum Doria. Anyway, off topic. I'm doing this very impromptu. I wanted to do it, and then I wasn't going to do it, and then I thought, let's just go for it, because even though the meeting of this date is, and there was something else I was supposed to say, a couple of other things that I was supposed to say. One is definitely subscribe, like, and comment on the videos that you do enjoy, because I'm a bit lost in terms of what to cover. And I can either go into, I was going to go down the BK route and explore where Ellie, law enforcement, and there are holes and gaps in this whole case. And that's without me investigating or looking into it. And then I didn't get any comments. Check the community tab, because I'd like to use that more often. I don't use it as much for posts because no one really pays attention. So there's a post on there for a vote, and maybe you don't want to vote for anything, but a comment will let me know, especially if you're one of the loyal subscribers and members. And I do want to thank the members. I do want to thank those that have been loyal subscribers and that have also sent a, like, either to PayPal for a coffee or whatever it is. Not many have, and that's not a problem. It's a very difficult day and age. And I just also want to say something else, that I want to send blessings to and healing to anyone going through a difficult time in their health. I also have a family member that's quite young who is fine, but I think it's a bit of a difficult period in terms of knowing stuff. And so, a lot of us have financial pressure, and it's very worrying because you can't sleep at night. A lot of us might have health issues, and some of us are fine. We're in a new chapter of our lives. But I've mentioned this, that a lot of it is all about community as opposed to role models. And the other thing is, lastly, is TikTok is one of my ignored platforms in terms of this the psychic side, but if you're interested in signs and daily messages, I'm trying to get back on it. What happened is I didn't really use it, and then when I started using it, I wasn't regular, and then um I was posting and it was stopping it. Like it was as if it was a Mercury retrograde. Everything was held back from community guidelines. And whatever was coming up on my feed was like Pakistani or Asian stuff. And I didn't know what the hell was happening. And I couldn't even read the language. And they don't help. They're a bit like YouTube. Um, and, but I'm trying to get back to it. So if you're interested in like your sign readings or and obviously comment what your sign is, you can follow that if you have TikTok. I don't really use it in terms of anything else, so I'm not someone an avid flicker, but it's sometimes, you know, you might get a nice daily message when you need it, so you can follow on that as well. And I do try to sometimes comment. My YouTube handle is linked there as well. So in terms of if you're interested in TikTok and you don't know the handle, I can spell it out for you. So today is about the meeting that Trump and Putin are having. I didn't realize that this was going to be on the 15th of August. This, by no means, this video will not expire on the 15th of August because I'm going to show you what is going to plan out. I do want to say, whether you're a Duck supporter, you're a Putin supporter, whether you're a Kia supporter, whether you're UK, whether wherever you're from, right? This is not about dissing this president, that president. I am showing you politics and the psychic download that I got and the agenda behind the scenes. And politics is always, you know, the country with the most power and money. And often it's the power can bring the money and the money can bring the power. Will always strive for more, or if it is one of the top guns, will strive to maintain that place, but make sure that it's not gonna subside below the other top ones. So for example, US, Russia, China. So I'm not sure what they've said this meeting is about. I get it's probably about economy, it's probably about Ukraine and peace treaty, and Duck wanting to be the peace treaty ambassador. Okay, I said that in my last psychic predictions, that he seems to be this peace treaty ambassador. He does hold the power, the US, and also the US dollar. And in addition to that, he's a negotiator, isn't he? And we remember when he met with Zelensky, it didn't go quite as well. And he was like, well, F him if he doesn't want to listen. So I'm going to give you the predictions that this is actually a covert, hidden, secret deal. Okay. Whatever that is announced that it's about, whether it's peace with Ukraine, whether it's economy, it's not that at all. And I won't be surprised if like timings, where it's only him and Putin sat there, or maybe the vice, a separate time. So, you know, either the timing starting that's announced probably will not be announced till quite last minute because of security. I don't even know where it's going to be, so that is going to be interesting. But I do want to say that there is an agenda, but there is a hidden, covert, diplomatic, power control agenda behind the scenes. Now, although they're going to come to strike this deal, I want to tell you that each one will have their own agenda there as well. I think it's probably energetically a good day for this meeting if I think of the energies, which could also be planetary. I don't really know. This deal is about oil. It's about controlling the oil around the world, controlling the cost of oil around the world and where it moves. And Duck wants that power. The reason Duck wants that power is because you control a lot of stuff. You will be able to control the US dollar being in power, and oil is a big thing. Why he's probably interested in Ukraine or keeping, you know, also Ukraine is Ukraine has resources. Now, I need to look at what resources it is exactly, but I do get that they have resources. And I think I got this a while ago. Is he interested? Are they both interested? Obviously, Putin's not interested in peace. He wants Ukraine. And Duck is not really interested in peace over anything else than what I've just said. Russia has this oil, okay? And behind Russia and the US doing this hidden deal, where Duck wants to gain that power in terms of where Russia distributes the cost and the oil out of Russia or to Russia in a certain way, is some of the countries like Israel, UAE, Qatar. Okay. And that's why when I think of getting this message is that it makes sense that those countries also don't stand with Gaza against Israel, right? Because Israel's a power country, which is why a lot of them don't. And power and economy, and a lot of manufactured brands are out of Israel. You even have Epstein that was out of Israel. No, just joking. So this is their agenda. This is the agenda. Now, obviously, Duck might say, you know, this is my agenda, this is what I want to do. He might not say it all, but he has to say what he wants, because that's what they were meeting for. That's what's they're gonna talk about. But it's oil, US dollar, the monies. And even in my last prediction, I spoke about Bitcoin slowly coming into force of power. And not only will it be the dollar and monies, you'll see Bitcoin becoming stronger after this as well. Slowly, not straight away. And that's why I'm saying this video will not expire after the 15th. Watch it pan out. But we have to look at the signs, because it's not suddenly going to be like, oh, Duck has this, or this is what they actually met for. It's a secret. It's covert energy. It's hidden energy. It's a hidden agenda. It's a secret deal. And they're going to agree on this in this meeting. It's like a backdoor diplomacy. And the image will be that, like I said, this peace treaty, Duck is the peace treaty. He might have already said, I've told Russia they need to sanction, or I don't know why I'm getting sanctioned. They need to pull back. They need to stop. But you're going to see how certain countries also in the Middle East might be at the third tier behind this. And it's basically how the Middle East also distribute oil or negotiate with Russia. Duck wants to control that rate of the monies so that he controls the oil around the globe as much as he can. Now, one of the countries that I've come to know, which ties into maybe why there's tariffs hit on India, is India buys crude oil. India then refines the oil and sells it. And I think it sells it to other countries in Europe. I'm not quite sure of that, but this is why I also think they were hit with tariffs. So that is the other thing in terms of India. And Duck will allow the countries like Israel, UAE, Qatar, and maybe a couple of others to speak to Russia on oil prices, which will be hidden, and it's obviously in their favor. But it's not going to be something known. It's going to be back. And obviously, recently he went around the Middle East and he got different presents, didn't he? And so we will see energy stocks and impact, probably a rise in stocks around energy. And you're going to see different alliances form as countries like India get pushed. Now, I've talked about different alliances forming, and we've seen that plan out. Oil, Bitcoin are going to have hikes in sometime this year, and I'll see where we can see that. I think, you know, if I knew astrology, it would be really good with these psychic inputs. But I'm going to pull cards, right? So that is probably where we get, maybe in astrology, they can see oil, they can see stocks a bit more. But I think it's not going to be right away. Like I said, we'll have to see where that is. So I wanted to look at the energy of the meeting, not this what they're at. This is what is going to happen. I'm not looking at the agenda. I'm looking at the energy, overall energy of the meeting. I wanted to look at how is Zelensky feeling at this time. Cards on Russia. And also, yeah, that's it. So let's have a look. Give me the energy of this meeting. Power, control, dominancy. Okay. Energy of this meeting. And if you look here, this is what we're going to announce. Monies, resources, fuel, that's a car, oil, recognition of top, back to this. I mean, this is not, no, it's only confirming. It's like Spirit, thank you, Spirit. He's confirming, Spirit is confirming what I said. And so the energy of the meeting, it looks like it's going to be good. There's going to be, you know, there's money involved, there's resource talks, even though they're not saying that. Do you see any card here that represents peace? No. So let's see the energy of this meeting. So I see it's going to be positive in terms of what they want to do, this secret deal, right? I feel like Duck, though, will have to temper a little bit because of what he wants, he's going to have to not play at Putin. I'm getting Putin's flute. No, it's not, you know, play at what Putin wants, but Putin has a certain power in this that obviously Duck wants something that Putin has or that Putin can give, and so he does hold power, right? So how is Duck going to ask for this without, he's going to have to propose something to Russia so that Russia gives it a little bit. And that could be that talks with those rich countries to buy from Russia. So I think it's going to be a good, and this is where he needs to temper, it's going to be a good energy of a meeting, right? Regardless of what they're doing. There's the hidden agenda. We'll take the last three cards. That's the first. Second, Queen of Swords, their strategy and the communication that's going to come out of it. But trust is about money. It's about oil. It's about the oil and the money. Okay. Right. So now I want to see is how is Zelensky feeling about this meeting? How is he feeling about the meeting? Not the outcome. How is he feeling about the meeting? It looks like I might have a card for the outcome. He's definitely waiting on communication. He's expecting fast communication. And I feel like he might have already got something. He's been mentioned somewhere and he believes he's going to be mentioned in this meeting. So I don't know if Duck has said, this is my agenda, Ukraine, I'm bringing you peace. But there's a certain thing here where he feels like he's held back. And it's something, oh, he feels like he should be in that meeting where it's apparently a peace treaty and to discuss also Ukraine. Although I think it's also to discuss the economy. I think if they say it's to discuss the economy, obviously it's from the element that I said. But I do think that he thinks in some way he is being held back and not invited. It looks like he's going to be monitoring online, or his team is, social media, the news, the media outlets. He doesn't feel something's going to go in his favor. It's like So this could be they walk away, they announce something, but it doesn't totally have the outcome that Ukraine or Zelensky was hoping for. There's something that doesn't come forward as promised or as he had hoped. And that kind of causes him some kind of confusion, which I wonder how he's then going to react. But I feel like he's going to feel that I actually feel like I'm tied, and there's a bit of not knowing where to go. So I'm actually going to leave this here. Let's look out for what I mentioned. And obviously, members, I should have said this at the beginning, there's a poll for you as well. No one's paying attention. Anyway, everyone, I hope you're blessed. And if you're traveling over the summer, I hope you have a lovely summer. And yes, special thanks to members, special thanks to loyal subscribers. And of course, a special thanks to the OG Marcia. So that's what I have on this one, and I look forward to hearing from you. I might do a light-hearted one on Megan. She's irritating, but you know, something a little bit light-hearted, it's not going to matter. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.